Hello everyone, Be the Amazing Greek here. Thank you for watching this video. Today I'm going to show you how I'm making a mace head. And what I'm going to be using is black pipe. This has a 1-inch internal diameter and it's 1 1/4 outer diameter. I've cut off a piece that is 3 3/8 long, and then to clean it up and get the coating off so that I can weld, I put it in my blast cabinet, sprayed the coating off to get to the bare metal. Then for the flanges, I have a bunch of these 3-inch washers. These are very large. They have a 7/8 hole in the center. What I've done is I took 3 of them. I marked down the middle. Then I used the portable bandsaw. I cut them in half, and then I put them in the blast cabinet and took off the shiny coating that's on this here. They all got kind of a satin finish to them, and that way I have clean metal to clean metal. I know I'll get a good weld. Now these, I believe, are galvanized, so I don't know if my blasting them has taken the galvanization out of it or the whole metal is galvanized. So I'm going to have the garage door open when I begin welding. I'm going to have a fan to blow all this fumes out because I don't want to be breathing that stuff in. It's very dangerous. So what I've done, like I said, I've cut 3 of these, which give me 6 flanges. And I'm not sure if I'm going to put 6 around or I'm just going to do 5. 6 would be simpler because you weld 2 opposite each other and then just split the difference. With 5, I would put 1, and then I would have to measure and figure out where I'm going to put the other 4. I think I'll probably do 6. With the MIG welder, I can get in between them. It's not going to be that big a deal. Plus, it gives me more surface to hit with. So, probably going to go 6. What I've done here is I've given myself 1/8 of an inch as a mark to put the just have a guideline where I'm going to start setting these so that I can weld them. Also, after cutting, I'm still learning to do the portable band. I did pretty good actually cutting on these, the lines, but I did have a little bit of waviness, so I took them over and using my square, actually I used the square to level this out on the 1" by 30 grinder. These I set them against here, saw where my high spots were, sanded a little bit. I put a 40 grit paper on there to make quick work of it, and then everything's nice and flat so that I don't have big gaps when I'm trying to weld. I want to get as good as I can there. So this is going to be a very simple design, just round, no fancy design work or cutting. If I had a mill, I probably would put some notches in here to give it like a kind of a bite when it hits, but like this, it's not going to get stuck or anything. It's not going to stick into something if I miss. It's just a bashing weapon. And we're going to weld this up, and then we'll see how it looks. For the video, I'm going to use a wooden dowel handle. This is from like a mop or a broom. Very little to get this to go in there. I just have to barely sand any of this down. I can drive this head down on there. I'll probably put, before I begin welding, drill a hole that a nail will fit through all the way through, so that once the dowel is in place, we don't want it, as we're swinging this around, for the head to come flying off. Put the dowel through, follow that hole with a drill, put a nail through, nip it off on the back end, and then round out like a large rivet on the other side there. That way it can't slip off, instead of putting something on the end like you would an axe. This way I know that it's going to be secure. It's not going to go anywhere. So I'm going to drill the hole in here, and then I will begin welding the flanges onto the head, and we'll see how it turns out. Okay, went with a galvanized nail all the way through. It's got the head on it, and then when I get on the wood, I'll cut it and then peen it over with the ball peen hammer, and that'll hold onto the shaft. Okay, as I put the first two flanges on, I realized this was going to start getting heavy. When you're holding the pieces individually, say, oh, I'll put 6, 7 of these on, no big deal. And a piece of pipe, it don't weigh much. Once it's all together, the weight's there. And it's not that it's too heavy to hold, but your recovery time with a weapon like this, you know, it's a one-handed weapon. You need to be able to move about quickly and recover. So, got the 4 flanges. I think lined them up pretty dang good. Plus, as I test, if you come in and hit the skull like this, you still have a gap there, so you're gonna do some damage. I wouldn't want to get hit with it, you know. So I double checked my holes that I had drilled for the nail. They got a little bit of weld splatter on them, so I went in, I cleaned those up so the nail goes through again. So I'm gonna take my handle, and I'm gonna just barely sand any down to get this started. I want to be able to hammer this down onto it. It's almost fits right now, but if I were to hammer it down now, it would start to splinter and break the wood. And I'm not going to cut the handle. The handle right now is very long. I will put it on, and then depending on where it feels good to me on length, then I'll cut the handle, because I've cut handles before and go, man, that's too freaking short. You know, if it's long, you can take more off. You can't add more to it. Like I said, for this video, I'm using just the handle, made the wood that you can buy anywhere. But I will eventually make plywood handles glued together like in the truncheon video, so that they're super strong and I don't have to worry about those breaking. But I don't have time right now to do a video on all that. But check out how to make a lead-weighted truncheon. You can see how to make the plywood handles. So I'm going to start, I'm going to fit it from the holes I want on the bottom, my nail hole. And I'm going to mark here with a pin and start just really take off just barely anything. I'll put the 120 grit paper on the belt sander and just slowly get that going and push this on, and then I'll just have to drill the hole and put that nail in there and peen it. Okay, so here's where I'm at. It's all of it about 3/4 of an inch. So, you guys see that? Yeah, alright, so I'm gonna press fit it. Oh yeah. I think what happened, as I was looking down inside here, one time when it was hot, what I was doing, I would weld, come over here, clamp it in the vise, and then clean up all the splatter so that I could have clean for the next one. And at one point, I think I clamped on my pipe a little too hard, which it didn't need much, and I distorted it just a little bit, and so it wasn't perfectly, you know, round inside, so it took a minute. But that's on there now, and I am glad I did not put 6 flanges of this almost 1/4 inch thick material. That's got some heft to it. That would have been very heavy to swing around. See? Now I can adjust and see where it feels good. So like that's a little too far out. But I'm going to go ahead and drill this hole, put my nail, and cut it off, and peen it over, and then the head will be secure. I can always wrap some tape and paper down here and paint this so it doesn't rust. You know, worried about rust when we're making a weapon to bash in people's heads, but you know, might take a while, or may not ever have to do it. We don't want it to rust up, so yeah, that's what we'll do. So I'm gonna put the nail next. All right. So turned out pretty good. Got the nail in there. I hammered out the nail head also, so it looks kind of like a rivet. It kind of blends in a little bit. That hammered over nicely, that galvanized nail. Overall, it's 17 3/4. Should have just went ahead and measured and made 18, but like I said, I was feeling where the grip was and where too far forward. I didn't want to, you know, a weapon that pulls you forward like that. This you can grip it a little close, you know, closer to the top, a little bit at the bottom. I think what I'm gonna do is cut like a 1-inch piece of the black pipe, drill a hole in the center, and put that also. Kind of not so much, a little bit of counterweight, but a hand stop kind of. And then from there, I'll see if I want to cord wrap it or not. With the 1-inch dowel, it feels real good in the hand. I don't know if I wrap it, if it feel kind of bulky or not. But it feels good. I don't have a scale out here to see how much it weighs, but that's pretty cool. It reminds me of the old Conan the Barbarian drawings in the comic books. Just real simple stuff, you know. As you eye it, you can see where I'm off a hair. The side holes don't line up exactly, but as it's coming down on your enemies and your raining blows are going to go, that's off. You know, that's not really going to be an issue. You know, it'll do the job that it was made to do. It's really cool. It's really cool, and finished it just in time to go watch the mid-season of season 2 finale for Fear the Walking Dead. So I'll probably be holding this while I watch the show tonight. That's kind of the stuff I do. When I got my AR, I was watching Walking Dead, had my AR in my hand. But it's just me. Cool. I like it. It's neat. The next one we're going to make when we do the next mace head, I'm going to use angle iron and show you how to make a real simple one. It's almost the exact same thing, but we'll use angle iron and create the flanges with those. That'll look very different. Come to a point, be a little bit lighter. I think it'll have less material, and we'll have a couple maces laying around. Alright, cool. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Any suggestions, or how about this, how about that, send them to me, because I love making this stuff. So thanks a lot. You guys have a good one. Alright, I wanted to show you. I went ahead, it only took me 15 minutes or so. Sand off some more of the black pipe, drilled me a hole in it real quick, just sanded off enough so I could press that on, and then I mushed the sides of the nail. Now I've got a little bit of a hand stop, and I feel much better about that. Looks more complete to me. So I just wanted to share that with you guys.